everybody, what's going on? My name is Mike, and this is the Bonsai Popcast. What's your name?
Tyler.
There
Fuck you.
We got it.
We're just going with that, huh?
Oh yeah, we're going.
All right.
Fuck yeah. So here we are, Bonsai Popcast. I think we missed a week. I'm not exactly sure. Might have been 2 weeks.
Maybe, yeah, 1 or 2.
I don't know. Anyway,
it's been at least 2, actually. I know that for sure.
Yes, we apologize. This is an anime podcast hosted by Bonsai Pop, which is me and Tyler. We are a YouTube channel about anime, and this is a podcast about anime and video games. But generally, we talk about other things that are relevant. (2), right?
Yep.
There we go. So
yeah, you're killing this intro, man. I'm loving it.
Well, you know what?
I'm enthralled.
Okay. So if I remember, last time we recorded the Bonsai Popcast was right before or during the election. It was during the election, right?
It was the day after the election happened.
And we still didn't know.
We had no idea. We were like, we don't know what's going to happen. We woke up, states had changed. Like, we don't know what's happening.
Right. So we now have a president-elect of the United States, and it's not Trump.
Yeah, right. And we have gotten so many butthurt people because we called Joe Biden president-elect in our most recent video.
I've been deleting those. I've been deleting those comments. Feel free to delete those. Just fucking delete them, dude. Like, okay. I have no, I just don't want people to be scrolling through our comments and see that fucking dumb shit. Like, I don't even want people to I don't know. I don't want those people to associate with us at fucking all. Just shut the fuck up, you know?
Yeah, I'm down.
God, damn.
We just don't care what your opinion is. fuck your, it's the technicality, man. It hasn't been certified yet. No, we don't give a fuck.
Yeah. Yes. Exactly, Neonosis. By the way, hanging out with us, we have Neonosis, Omni Penguin Mecha, and Raining Ekam. Some of our Super Saiyan Blues. Or Super Saiyan or Golden.
I believe they are all Super Saiyan Blues.
They are all Super Saiyan Blues. So, if you want to be a Super Saiyan Blue, check us out on Patreon. We'll talk about Patreon later. But anyway, So we have a new president coming in January. It's fucking. You know what? I said it before. Said it again. I didn't vote for Biden. I voted against Trump, and I won. Yep. So that's as far as I'm concerned. That's the way it goes.
It's pretty incredible when you see a candidate that most people don't really want get into the White House, and the world celebrates.
Yeah. Well, I mean, okay, so it was the same way with Hillary and Trump, right? It was like nobody wanted Hillary, but there were people who actually wanted Trump. I mean, of course, there were people that actually wanted Hillary, but I was definitely I know more about Hillary Clinton than I know about fucking Biden. So I was definitely skeptical about Hillary. That being said, I did not vote for Trump ever. So
same.
You can put that on my tombstone. But
Mike Pixley, he never voted for Trump.
I never voted for Trump. But yeah, so I think what it is just like Joe Biden seems less threatening than Hillary Clinton did, especially considering all of her activity in the Middle East. Granted, I could be totally wrong. I don't know. I don't know much about Joe Biden other than what he's been accused of during the Trump administration. Some shit to do with I don't know, Turkey or something. I don't fucking know.
He's extremely moderate, basically.
That's fine though. That's good.
Basically,
right?
As middle of the road as you can get. I mean, it's not good, but it's better than what we've had.
I'll tell you what I tell everybody, right? I don't think there's anything wrong with Republicans at all.
Neither do I.
In Massachusetts,
in the idea of the Republican Party as it's supposed to be.
Yeah.
There's nothing wrong with small government, fewer taxes, and a laissez-faire attitude. That in general has nothing wrong with it. And you can think that way. I don't personally think that way. I think the government should be more hands-on, but there's nothing wrong with having that opinion. But when the party starts promoting shit that's white nationalist, suddenly you're having issues.
Yeah, exactly. And for me personally, I fucking hate the government. I don't trust the government. I don't think we landed on the moon. You know what I mean? I fucking hate the government. They disgust me. They scare me. I'm not like a total conspiracy theorist, but you know,
yeah,
like,
you are.
All right, I go down the rabbit hole. I'm just saying that like I like the idea of a small government. I also am like, you know, have my head far enough out of my ass that I can see that there are certain times when we need a more hands-on government. And right now, the fucking country is out of control. We got like psychopaths roaming around spray painting blue dots on people's doors who fucking voted for Biden and shit like that. Like there's crazy shit going on right now. We need a little bit of a heavier hand to kind of calm things down, but we need that hand being wielded by somebody with a moderate attitude. Like the last thing that we need, the problem with Trump is that he cracked down on people he didn't agree with and only people he didn't agree with.
And continues to. He's still firing people that aren't loyalists. Which, first of all, if you're firing people that are in government because they aren't loyal to you, that's a problem.
That's fascist. That's how.
Yes.
That's how fascism works, dude.
Yes.
They create, like, fascism is almost always started out of an extremist party that comes in and then they create their own party. Like Trump is not a Republican. He's Trump. You know, his party is not the Republican Party. It is the Trump Party. And he has done everything that he can to make it the Trump Party so that he can get his way with whatever the fuck he wants. That's why he appointed XYZ people in certain positions. That's why he thinks that he can fucking stay in the White House, et cetera, et cetera. Look, this isn't exactly a political podcast, but as human beings, we are political by nature. Therefore, we are going to talk about some of this stuff. And, you know, if you don't like what we have to say, that's fine. If you want to, you know, post your own thoughts and ideas, that's fine. If you want to be a fucking asshole, you can go fuck yourself. That's pretty, you know what I mean? Like,
and if you don't want to listen to us being political, just skip ahead 15 minutes.
Yeah, exactly. Know? Yeah. And that's the thing, right? Is that like, you know, in general, I think when it comes down to like any kind of political discourse, like people aren't trying to be fucking assholes. I mean, there are people out there that are trying to be fucking assholes, but it's like generally people on the right side of like on the right wing side of things aren't pushing for a white nationalist agenda. Like that's fucking dumb. You know what I mean? Like my dad's a fucking Republican. He is not a white nationalist, you know, like don't get me wrong. We disagree on a lot of shit. We get our information from different places, you know, so we argue all the time about stuff. And I see things very fucking different than he does. And I don't know why I'm talking about this because I'm just getting annoyed because he annoys me. But the point is, is that like, you know, even somebody who kind of comes off as an asshole isn't necessarily trying to like Nazi stomp your fucking shit into oblivion, you know, and people on the left, like they can be just as fucking crazy. It just is, if not worse.
Oh, easily. Yeah.
Like, you know, there is something to be said about, there's a lot of, in my opinion, there's a lot of censorship issues going around on the left side. You know what I mean? To the fact where it's like, it's too much. You know, like comedy, for the most part, as far as I'm concerned, shouldn't be censored. I think comedy in and of itself is an important part of human society. And the reason that it's funny often is because we satirize stuff and we throw things that make people uncomfortable in their face. You know, like for instance, Devin is always up my ass about saying the word retard, right? Because it's now not politically correct to call somebody retarded or say that, you know, something is retarded or whatever. But it is funny. Like, you know what I mean? Like, that's my defense. It's just a funny word. You know what I mean? Like, I'm not I grew up in a town that was best known for its mental hospital, right? So that state school, as they called it, was a horrible, disgusting facility where they basically trapped and imprisoned anybody that that had something from mild autism to severe Down syndrome to pyro, like there were pyromaniacs in there, you know? So the funding was bad. People were treated horribly. They were chained to walls, you know, like there's this one kid who bit people's ears off. So they permanently strapped a fucking fencing mask on him. Like bad place, really bad place. And it closed down in like 94. So when I was in school, I went to school with a lot of special needs kids because, you know, these people were let out of the hospital. They had children. Their children ended up, you know, having issues as well. So yeah, it's you know, I grew up with that. I lived next door to a nonverbal autistic kid for like 3 years. You know, I watched that family struggle with that kind of stuff. Like, I don't think a word encompasses that. You know what I mean? Like, it's challenging, dude. Like, especially with my next door neighbor there. Like, it was rough, man, because, you know, like nonverbal autism is intense, you know, like when people are, you know, being rude and like making fun of, like, you know, mentally challenged people and they're going like that is what nonverbal autism is like. That's not Down syndrome or anything like that, you know, and like these people are intelligent individuals that are trapped in a body that can't communicate.
Right. There's a disconnect happening that they have no control over. Yeah.
And, you know, and it's like, oh my God, like this kid was so fucking strong, dude. And it was hard because like part of me was scared of him. You know, he was like 5 years younger than me, right? So I was like 9. He was like 4 or 5. This fucking kid could like pick me up and throw me. He dragged me around the house by my hair like multiple times, you know, and he wasn't trying to hurt me. I don't know what he was trying to say to me, but that's part of the problem. Like, you can't fucking
He's probably telling you to get a haircut.
Yeah. But anyway, you know, it's like, I just don't think that things should be as censored as they are. But then again, I also have my own opinions. Like, I don't think that anybody who's black should be saying the N-word. You know what I mean? Like, so I guess I'm a little bit of a hypocrite, but at least I can fucking admit it. You know? And I think that's a big issue with anybody on the far left or right, is that it comes down to like a lot of blatant fucking hypocrisy. Which is sad and stupid, and y'all should be ashamed of yourselves, just like I am every single day. And man,
there we go. Moral of the story.
After I masturbate, it's so much worse. I just cry. I just cry for hours. Call out to my mom, just like, well, Mom, what's wrong with me? It feels so good, but it's so bad. All right. Anyway,
I'm uncomfortable.
How you been, Ty?
I've been pretty good, man. It's been so. I have a story to tell you. Okay. That I've been waiting to tell you for so long.
You're hearing it here first, folks.
I have been waiting since the last podcast to tell you this story. When we last recorded, we started talking about you writing a poem.
Oh yeah.
About trees. You remember this?
Did you find it?
And I said that when I listen to this in the podcast, I'm going to try to find that poem.
Okay.
So I have a story for you about trying to find this poem.
Oh, God. All right.
So I believe you told me it was like the Belchertown Sentinel was probably where I should start.
Yeah.
So I went on to I typed in Belchertown Sentinel onto Google. Turns out, yeah, it's a real thing. You can go there. They have a website. And I was like, awesome. I go up there. They have an archive section. I was like, perfect. This is going to be great. Their archives only go back 2 years. I was so upset. Yeah. So, but I was like, not to be dissuade. They had a phone number. So I called the Belchertown Sentinel.
Oh my God.
I said, yeah, I called and somebody picked up. I think her name was Rachel. Very nice lady.
Sounds like a Belchertown name. It's an Irish town. Everybody was Michael and Rachel and John and David. Anyway.
Yeah. So I called and I said, Rachel, do you have any archives going past 2018? Because you only have that online. And she said, no, but the local library should have those archives.
Oh, you called the clap, dude?
Thank you very much. So I looked up the local library of Belchertown, and yes, the Clapp Library.
The Clapp Memorial Library.
Is the local library. But here's the thing. So I needed the archive online, right? I need to get this poem online. Yeah. And also, I didn't know what year this was. I was going to have to look through.
It was 2001 or 2002 or 2003.
Yeah, so my years that I was looking for was between 2000 and 2004. That's what I had figured.
Okay.
So and I'm doing this on a Saturday. I'm pretty sure. So, but I spent over an hour looking for this fucking poem. I didn't call the Clap Library, which is the library there, but they have a website and they have archives on the website. But to access anything on the site, you need to have a library card.
So you made a library.
So I applied for a library card.
Oh my God.
At the Clap Library. And I needed to put in an address that was local and my name and stuff. Okay. So I put in, my name was Tyler Bonsai Pixley. And I just like picked a street around the corner from the library and found the house and got their address and put that in.
Oh my God, that's funny.
And once I filled it all out and I lied on everything, like I said, I was a resident and everything. It said, okay, we are issuing you a temporary library card until they said we can't clarify for certain that this is where you live. So we will be sending you like verification forms.
Oh my God. That's fucking funny.
But here is your temporary library card number. And I said, perfect. So I started to use the temporary library card number. It still won't let me in. But on the site, it said, if you can't gain access here, try the Boston Library. So I went over to the Boston Library website. There, it turns out it didn't give me a card for whatever reason. It didn't give me a temporary library card number for the Clap Library. It gave me one for the Boston Library.
Okay.
So I put in my my custom library card number at the Boston Library site, and it says, oh, your library card has not been confirmed, so you can't access these files. So I spent over an hour
for nothing,
searching and trying to find your fucking tree poem for no end result. Jesus. I was so upset, dude.
I'll find it for you. I'll call the Clap. I know. So funny Belchertown lore for you guys. The Clap Memorial Library was actually featured on an episode of Ghost Hunters. Yeah, because it was fucking, oh my God. It was so stupid. So the Clap Memorial Library is an old church.
Really? Okay.
Yeah, it is an old ass fucking building, dude. Like, I mean, it's ridiculous. I used to, and it didn't really have a good selection either. I used to go there, pick up Goosebumps books when I was a kid, and Animorphs. Yeah, the Clap, that place was like, oh my God, dude, it just smells like 200 years old.
It smells like stale Christian. Like,
yeah. So there was this fucking girl, right? And I think she was a couple grades underneath me.
Was her name Rachel?
Probably. It was probably like Rachel or Emily or Rebecca, one of those.
Yep.
Anyway, one of those proud Irish names. But yeah, she told everybody she was a psychic, and she told everybody that the Clap Memorial Library was haunted, and then the haunting was corroborated by the janitor, and then ghost hunters showed up because I think they're local.
Oh, really? So that's easy. They're like, it's in our backyard.
Yeah, I think they're from Connecticut. I'm not entirely sure. I mean, New England is pretty good for that kind of stuff, like, because we have such old architecture and shit, and like all these crazy grisly awful things happened out here, like genocide and whatnot. But anyway, so it was like the worst episode of Ghost Hunters I've ever seen in my entire life, dude. It was so fucking stupid, especially having been there. Like, I remember this, they went down to the basement, which was supposedly like the most haunted place, right? And like they're like walking around, and all of a sudden this Barney book goes off. It was like, I love you, or like something like that. And they were like, they did that ghost show thing where they're like, did you hear that? Did you hear that? What was that? Did you hear that? Like, I don't know. They basically determined that it wasn't haunted, and then that chick lived in ridicule for the rest of her fucking life. Basically, don't pretend you're a fucking psychic. Okay? Don't do that.
Moral of this story.
Yeah, moral of this story.
Don't pretend you're a psychic. I had no idea about that, but yeah, I really tried, man. I really tried to find that poem. I thought you would be proud of the amount of effort that I put in. That podcast took me a lot longer to edit than any of the others because of that.
I'll find it for you. You know what? I bet you my fucking grandmother has a clipping of it somewhere. Well, no, she's back in Arizona, so I don't know. She might not have it on her. Maybe my mom has it. Knowing my mom, my mom wasn't too bad about keeping things from school, but then again, I've been out of the house for a long time and pissed her off many times. So it's possible that she threw all that shit away. I don't know. So.
But that is one of my 2 failed story attempts.
Okay.
Of the last couple weeks.
So what was your other failure?
So the other one was you may remember that the PS5 came out.
Yes.
Between the last time we recorded and now.
Yeah.
And Mike has been desperately trying to get a PS5. He's mad. He's very mad.
Fuck you, Sony.
Yeah. If you go on our Twitter and just scroll, you'll see how mad he is. It's great.
Yeah. I'm pretty sure like somebody was like, "What did they do to you?" Pissed me the fuck off.
Mike put out this tweet. I'm gonna pull it up really quick. That I was laughing my fucking ass off at. Where he was just like trying to hurt Sony.
Oh, the one where I threatened to buy an Xbox?
Yeah, it's really fucking funny.
Dude, fuck Xbox. Sorry, guys. I'm not an Xbox guy.
Oh my god.
Omni says that PS5 has like a 20% failure rate right now. Yeah, it was Daz.
Oh my god, really?
Yeah, Daz, who is one of the editors/writers for fucking Did You Know Gaming, put out a video the other day of he was just filming his PS5 console and the thing was just going like
maybe it's good to not get it immediately.
Let's while you're looking for that tweet, like let's take a second to talk about console launches, okay?
Sure.
So
let's do it.
Because I mean, and obviously, like we'll get more into stuff like this when we start talking about video games. But like console launches fucking suck. They always fucking suck. It's not like it was back in the fucking 90s when you got N64 and it was just it. That's the thing. That's the thing, right? In N64, when you took it out of the package, it was already done. It was cooked. It was baked. What you got is what you fucking had. The only thing that was ever added onto it was a little bit of a meg cart, you know, that you could put in the front. Yep. And it was only needed for Donkey Kong 64, which, you know, is a game that you could take or leave as far as I'm concerned. Way too many collectibles. Anyway, getting off the point. Nowadays, video game systems are fucking computers, right? Like, especially the
literal
Xbox.
computers.
What is the new Xbox? Xbox One X? Is that what they called it?
I don't even know.
Xbox Series X. Okay, so
Series X.
So fucking dumb.
That's how much I'm not buying an Xbox.
Dude,
I don't even know.
I'm gonna seriously fucking put an X on buying that stupid ass fucking Xbox. Fucking dumb. But anyway, and the reason that I say that is because Xbox really hasn't had an exclusive game that was worth anybody's time in a decade. So I don't know. I'm also.
No, I mean, I hear you. Like, since Halo went downhill, what's the point?
You literally had an Xbox One this whole console generation, right?
Yeah.
What games did you play on it?
I played Red Dead Redemption 2.
Okay. You hated it.
Yep. I played it for 10 hours and then stopped playing it. Red Dead 2 sucks. I don't care what anybody else says. It is the most boring, slowest fucking game that you don't even get to play because half of it's some fucking horses and shit. I didn't buy a fucking $60 game to watch my character on a horse for 15 fucking minutes. God, I hate that game.
For the record, I loved Red Dead 2 and I played all.
Dude, Ryan has started to switch sides. He's more on my side now.
Whatever.
Yeah, he's gotten to the point where he's just like, dude, it's so fucking slow. It takes so fucking long. Why when I needed to fucking get stuff from a body, why do I need to watch the animation? Why is there an animation that takes
I'll agree with you on
3
that
fucking seconds to pick shit up off of a body? I want to press A, it's in my inventory. Done.
Yep.
God, it makes me so mad.
Hey,
also, the aiming was bullshit. Yeah, it's auto aim to the max. You hide behind the thing, you press the button to peek out, you are auto aimed on their head every single time.
You can turn that off.
Whatever, it doesn't matter. The fact that it's even there, what's the point? I have so many things. I played it for 10 hours and I barely remember it because it was like years ago now, and I'm still angry about it.
See, I have nothing but good memories about the game. Anyway, so what else did you play on your Xbone?
I started Dark Souls 3 and then it broke. And I bought it on PC, and I've been playing it on PC.
Okay. Yeah, I mean, with games
and I don't mean my Xbox broke. I just mean the game broke on my Xbox.
Right. It just wasn't put on the Xbox well.
I don't know. I don't know what the fuck happened. And then I got Game Pass for free through Discord. So I played Sniper Elite 4, I think it's what it's called. With Ryan, and that was really fun.
Cool.
And I think that's it.
There you go. And you've had a PS4 for what, like half a year?
I've had a PS4, a working PS4 for a year to half a year.
And how many games have you played on that one?
Spider-Man, God of War, Dark Souls, Remastered.
I mean, no competition. Like,
yeah, the Yakuza games.
Yeah.
Other stuff too, I'm sure, that I can't think of right now.
Yeah.
I probably actually, I think I need to download Bloodborne. I haven't looked at I haven't had time to turn on my Xbox really recently. Fair. Oh, Ghost of Tsushima, another fucking great one. Basically far superior in every fucking way.
Yeah. Just on the controller too. PS4 controller's so nice. I love it.
Yeah.
I mean, a lot of people really like the Xbox controller. I'm just like, I like the DualShock 4.
They're both fine. I'm excited for the PS5 controller. That shit sounds really cool.
I mean, Donkey says it's the only reason to buy it.
Whatever.
Yeah.
Controller. Yeah. Yeah. No, I watched that video that Donkey did where he's like, it's the fucking same graphics. Like,
well, I mean, damn, we're fucking this podcast all up. But like, so I have been experimenting.
It's our podcast. We can do whatever we want.
I've been experimenting with 4K on my PC. And turns out that it takes more computing power to put things into 4K. Who would have known? I didn't know. I didn't know. So here I am. I have a pretty dope computer. Okay, like I have a good computer, right?
Yeah, it does.
And it can run
Digital Storm.
Yeah, it's a Digital Storm. You know, I knew I needed an upgrade. I wanted to get an upgrade that would last me like 6 years or something like that, like my old PC did.
My girlfriend's getting a Digital Storm upgrade. It's been about a month delayed. She's finally getting it, I think, tomorrow.
Sick. Yeah, it takes a long time because they put it together.
The 3080s were so hard to come by. They have like 400 orders that are on back order because they couldn't get enough of them. Mm-hmm. Yeah, Beta
64 is telling me about how hard a time he had with that. I mean,
yeah, so they're like upgrading people's storage and shit for free because they've been waiting for so long.
Shit, that's nice. Yeah, just like keep in mind that to run that 3080, you're gonna have to have like a dope ass fucking motherboard too. But
I mean,
regardless,
they're building it for her, you know.
But yeah, so
it's gonna be fine. I'm not worried.
What I'm finding out is on my I have 3 monitors essentially that are hooked up to my PC. I have my old school Acer 1080p, nothing special. It's like a 20-inch. I have a 26-inch Asus, which is 120 hertz, no HDR, unfortunately. And then I have my Roku TV. It's like a 58-inch that I brought upstairs recently because it said on the box that it was 120 hertz, right? So I was originally using the 50-inch Amazon 4K TV. Wasn't 120 hertz. Wasn't getting the picture that I wanted out of my games. So I brought the other one upstairs. Well, turns out that it's not 120 hertz. It has frame smoothing.
Okay.
So that was really annoying, right? But when you're running a game in 4K, it takes a lot more computing power. So I'm getting shit frame rates, right? When I'm playing things on Ultra.
Right.
Now, in my head, I'm like, I should be able to play everything on fucking Ultra because I have this computer. I have, an RTX 280 Super. Like, I got a really nice computer. But I switched things back to my 1080p monitor and the game is playing on Ultra just fine.
Right.
And it looks just as good as the 4K monitor on medium.
Huh.
Yeah. So to get a really smooth 60 FPS, I need to drop the graphics settings down to medium on the 4K monitor. But on the 4K monitor, medium looks like Ultra on a 1080p. So weird. It's been such a weird experience. That's
strange.
Yeah. It's weird. Like, and I was playing Yakuza too, which like Yakuza, I mean, even the newest one is not a graphically intense game.
Yeah, it's not going to look like the newest Demon Souls.
No. So I was like, why am I getting...
I want that game.
why am I getting a choppy frame rate? You know, like when I'm playing this on Ultra. And it's because it takes so much more computing power to bump it up to, 3160 by 2100 or whatever the fuck.
I mean, it makes sense. Like, logically, that makes sense.
Yeah. Yeah. I just didn't think about it. I just thought it was like, I just figured your PC always put out at its max capacity and then downscaled for whatever else. But I guess that's just not the case.
Yeah.
So, anyway.
But anyway, the reason that we got on this topic.
Oh, it's because of the tweet?
No. Well, first of all, let me read this tweet really quick. This is after approximately, I would say maybe like 10 minutes after Mike didn't get a PlayStation during one of the releases. I swear to fuck at PlayStation, I will buy a shitty ass at Xbox just to spite your shite business practices. I'll buy the games too. Won't even play them. I'll get fucking Game Pass and let it sit there. And then in all caps with periods between it, just to hurt you back.
I've been having a hard time, guys. I've been having a hard time.
And then it's the Leave Britney Alone gif.
Yeah.
Underneath it.
Yeah.
Best tweet of the fucking month, dude.
I've been really having to deal with some anger when it comes to Sony this month.
So this brings me back to what I was talking about earlier in my failed story. I knew that you were going through this pain. Yeah. And I said, and this happened about 3 a.m. in the Discord. I was talking to people about it. And I was like, you know what? Tomorrow, I know Walmart comes out with PlayStation 5s. I'm going to try to get a PlayStation 5, but if I get one, I'm going to send it to Mike.
Hell yeah.
And I won't tell him until the podcast happens. But
and then you learned.
Here's the thing. Yeah, well, here's the thing. I got one in my cart, and I was like, I'm putting in the information. I've got it. It's done. And I texted, or I think I Discorded Devin. I was like, hey, did Mike get an Xbox? And she messaged me back. She's like, he's yelling fuck over and over right now. So I don't think so. I was like, great. I put in your information, hit continue, and then it was gone.
Yeah.
And it was like, well, that fucking sucks.
Yeah, dude. Welcome to my life. I've been following some Twitter accounts that like alert you to like when PS5s are going to be going on sale and shit like that. And or I say going on sale, I mean becoming for sale. When
you can order them.
Yeah. And it's like, dude, I cannot tell you how many times it's so bad. And it's only happening at Walmart, right? Like nothing else is like really restocking. PS or PlayStation.com might be restocking, but it's like that website is so busy with people consistently refreshing it that you have to wait in a queue to get on to look to see and have them tell you that it's sold out. Like it's so fucking stupid. So
yeah, I got tired of after about 10 minutes of seeing that fucking dog with deer antlers.
Oh, you got sent to Santa's workshop or whatever. Santa's hell.
So many times, dude.
Oh my God. Like I have had that thing in my cart since the first time it went on sale at Walmart. And I've literally like put all my credit card information in it, hit checkout, and then just like, boom, that shit fucking just like, we're out. Like, and I'm like working the PC and the app at the same time. And it's just like, it'll load and load and load. And you're like sitting there, like sweating, like you're like a fucking crackhead. And like, just, oh my God, it is the worst. But anyway, we'll.
But yeah, basically I tried to get you a PS5 and, I failed miserably, and I thought it was going to be great because I was like, I got it in my cart. This is awesome. All I got to do is put in this address and shit. It was not great. So I tried to help you out, but it did not end up coming to fruition.
Well, let's take this as a blessing, right? Because like we were saying before, console launches are not the way that they used to be. Nowadays, the people that get consoles early are essentially like lab rats. So you're getting a piece of technology that has been tested to the point where they feel like they can sell it, but not tested to the point where you're not going to break it. And you're probably going to fucking break it. Or it's going to break on its own, or some like horrible glitch is going to get into the system, some kind of bug that's going to crash it. Maybe the hardware is going to fail. Like, I mean...
It's not going to be ventilated properly and something's going to melt. Like,
yeah, it all started with Xbox 360 and PS3 back in the day. The original,
the Red Ring of Death, dude.
Yeah, dude. I mean, like, for fuck's sake. I mean, PS2's had problems as well. Part of the reason that the PlayStation 2 is the best-selling console of all time is because they burned out. So people bought replacements. Like I know, I mean, for fuck's sake, I have 3 PlayStation 2s. I never owned a PlayStation 2 when I was a kid. But people who did, bought 2, 3, 4 sometimes. Like, yeah, you're going to have the best-selling console of all time. If you got to buy that many just because they keep fucking burning out on you. And then, again, with the Xbox 360, there was the Red Ring of Death. And, them trying to figure out, like, I mean, if you look at the Xbox 360, it's such a hodgepodge of, like, weird ideas. Like,
I have taken apart an Xbox 360 and put it back together at least 5 or 6 times. And I am not a handyman. I was just so determined to get my Xbox to work again that I learned how to take apart an Xbox and fix it.
Wasn't there something to do with, like, putting a penny in there or some shit like that? Yeah.
Yes.
So dumb.
Yeah, but it worked. It worked. What was going on, if I remember correctly, was basically the reason the Xbox is called an Xbox is because inside the Xbox were X clamps that held things together. And it looked like when you opened it up, there were 2 X's inside of your Xbox. And those clamps were fucked up. They weren't working properly. And I think they weren't like conducting the heat properly or something, but you could put pennies in instead and they would do a better job.
Yep. Yeah, I remember people doing that.
I fixed an Xbox for like a month or 2 with pennies.
So fucking dumb.
Like you couldn't just do it, You had to go online and buy a special tool that was only used for Xboxes. Like you couldn't just use like a Phillips head or a flathead screwdriver. You had to use this weird ass like pentagram screwdriver or something.
Oh my god. Yeah, it's like it's like the same thing for like iPhones. Like the only way to open an iPhone is you have to have like an iPhone key. You like pop it in the hole and shit like that. I mean, there's other ways to do it, but like that's the best way to do it.
It's just, if you don't want to break it, yeah.
Like anyway, fucking. So yeah, there's obviously probably gonna be quite a few issues with the PS5s that are coming out. I don't wish that on anyone, but I would like to get a PS5 that's gonna work and not have to be like, oh my god, I'm out $500 plus tax. Like,
yeah, I'm not planning on buying one for a hot minute. I do want one. I want one really badly. I want to play Demon Souls. That's the primary reason. I'd like to play Yakuza Like a Dragon on it as well. And I'm sure that there's going to be other stuff coming out. Like I think what's the next shit, I can't think of what it's called right now.
Is coming out on it. I know
that's not what I'm thinking of. What's the Skyrim franchise called?
Oh, Elder Scrolls.
Elder Scrolls. Isn't there another one of those coming out soon? I think. Is that what I'm thinking of?
Yeah. Well, yeah, they announced it at E3 2018, something like that. But Bethesda has been bought by Microsoft.
Right.
So I don't know if that'll be coming out on.
That's not what I'm thinking of. I'm thinking of Elden Ring.
Elden Ring. By FromSoft.
Is what that's what I'm going to want when it comes out.
Well, that should come out on PC. I don't know. It's hard to say. Demon Souls is PS5 exclusive. Elden Ring likely won't be because it's a new franchise.
It will be on Windows as well. However, I really, really like being able to play things on my 60-inch TV in my living room.
That's true. I just took my 60-inch TV and put it in my office.
Well, I can't do that. Like, it would not fit.
Well, I hung it on the wall. So
again, don't think I can make it fit.
That's true.
Like my office does not have 60 inches of wall that is available.
That's fair. All right, Tyler. Well, I think it's that time of the podcast. It's well past that time where I ask you, how was your anime week?
Thank you for waking me up.
Thank you for waking me up. Oh no, wait, we have a thing for that.
We put the sound clip in, Tyler, but maybe
don't worry. Now you get to hear it twice.
So yeah, how was your anime
week,
month
dude?
been or whatever?
Yeah, I mean, if you think I've watched anything in the last fucking week, you are mistaken, because we have been busy.
Yeah. Well, you watched Seven Deadly Sins all the way through.
Well, yeah, okay. So, I have watched things, but it's basically all been for the channel, So, like, watching City Hunter. I watched a decent amount of City Hunter, but I watched it for the channel. Right. I powered through Seven Deadly Sins in about 4 days. But it was for the channel. I haven't watched anything just to watch anything, really. I'm trying to think of what else. G Gundam, I watched a good amount of G Gundam. But basically, if we covered it, I watched it.
Yeah.
That's sort of how it was for the last month. Because for those of you who don't know, we're recording this after the week that we put out, so the Seven Deadly Sins video and City Hunter, and doing 2 videos in a week is a lot for us.
Yeah, it is.
We can do it, but we can't do it every week because we will burn out in a month.
Yeah, I mean, probably even quicker. I'm already tired as fuck. But yeah. We're quite tired. We couldn't get a viewing party done this week because of it. We couldn't get the podcast done this week because of it. We're recording this on a Sunday, which we typically take off from work just so that we can get some podcasting done. Fuck, it's a Sunday. Yeah. It's been busy too. Honestly, dude, I don't know if I've watched anything either. I mean, I'm trying to keep up with Yashahime, which is like really.
I watched like an episode of that and then gave up.
That's fair. Well, I mean, you didn't watch all of Inuyasha yet, so
exactly. So I watched. It's really funny. I watched one episode of it. My girlfriend walks in as I'm watching it. She says, "Is that Inuyasha?" I'm like, "Yeah, it's the sequel." She's like, "God, I fucking hated Inuyasha as a kid," and then walked out.
Dude, Inuyasha's great. Shut up, Amy.
Well, she was like, everybody who at my school, if I was like, "Oh, do you like anime?" and I was like, "Yeah, I like anime," they were like, "Oh, do you watch Inuyasha?" And she got so fucking tired of that bullshit.
Inuyasha just makes people horny. That's why people like that show. Serious. I swear to God. Like, same thing with Seven Deadly Sins, dude. For some reason, I was so fucking horny the whole time I was watching that show.
It's because of the end, dude.
I was like, dude, I just want to fuck something so bad. That show is just like the worst.
They took Deanne's giant fucking frame and was like, here, every time she accidentally falls down, her fucking taint is just in your face.
Yeah, that's true.
Every time.
Yeah. Like there definitely is something about a giant girl that just sounds awesome. I did look up some Seven Deadly Sins hentai while we were working on that, and there was one doujinshi where Diane takes King and just uses his whole body like a dildo. He's like, ah.
I knew where it was going before you even started, but it's still fucking hilarious.
That's exactly what I would write. I'd be like, yeah. And then, yeah, it was a weird week. Yeah, I mean, like I'm keeping up with Yashahime, but I'm also behind on it. And I have like the box set of Elfen Lied like sitting there just staring at me being like, please watch me. And
I gotta watch that too.
Gotcha Man that's sitting there and being like, just please watch me. And I'm like, bro, I'm like kind of tired. That said, I mean, we did cover some really good anime that's worth watching, so if you go check out our channel, you can see some of that. But City Hunter and G Gundam are always a blast. G Gundam's fucking amazing. Its dub is a national treasure. It's
G Gundam was a lot of fun.
Yeah. It's a good time. I forgot about Lady Gundam. What gun? It is Lady Gundam, isn't it? What's the girl like?
No, I know who you're talking about. The blue-haired girl.
I love that Gundam. It's like a schoolgirl Gundam.
Yeah. I can't fucking remember what her name is right now though. But she's great.
Omni
like
says
when they meet.
Omni says I believe it's Lady Gundam, which is fucking hilarious. Mm-hmm. The Lady Gundam.
let me see if I can find it. Noble Gundam.
Noble Gundam. Okay. All right. That's cooler.
Yeah, but it's literally like Sailor Moon as a Gundam.
Yeah.
Like,
oh, it's great. It's everything everything that G Gundam did is great. My only problem now is that we talked about Gundam again, so everybody's like Gundam. They're like, oh dude, but you got to do Iron Blooded Orphans. Oh dude, but you got to do like Gundam Unicorn. Oh dude, but you got to do like Universal Century. And I'm like, fuck, dude. Like, do you understand how rough it is to cover Gundam? Like, I almost had a conniption when we were doing Gundam Wing because it's like.
Yeah. We got a comment from somebody being like, you only used clips from Gundam Wing whenever you were talking about other Gundams, and that's a little like disappointing. And I'm like, you know why we did that? Because we already made a video on it, so I had the clips.
Yeah,
and I didn't have to go find the clips for other like. That's why they're all Gundam Wing.
Yeah, well, that, and also it's like, okay, so Gundam. It comes down to the fact that like anime is a medium, not a genre, right? So like there are genres within anime, and mech is one of those genres, and mech is not something that I've notoriously gotten very deep into. Hence my love for G Gundam, because like I'm pretty sure one of our patrons said it to me. They were like, oh, it's more like Super Robot rather than Mobile Suit or whatever the fuck. I don't fucking know. There's genres within the mech genre as well. So like Gundam, like I said in the video, is very operatic, and political, and if you're not paying like apt attention to it, you can get lost like so real fucking easy. Fast. Yeah, and it's like, because I didn't grow up with it, I don't know everything there is to know about Gundam like I do with like Dragon Ball or something like that. You know what I mean? Like, I can tell you the entire story of Dragon Ball from start to finish out of my memory, like every single story beat that happened in that show, no problem. All the way up through the end of Z. But Gundam, not the same. G Gundam, I just rewatched it. I still, would need another second. Gundam Wing, fuck no. I watched that show, seriously. I have no fucking memory of what happened. Like, I know they came down to the colonies. They were like splinter cells, and there was this bad guy, and was he the bad guy? And then there was a dude with a mask who piloted Tall Geese, and like he was kind of a bad guy, and then he wasn't a bad guy, and then he was a bad guy, and then he wasn't a bad guy. It's like, dude, like this shit.
He's
like,
the Zuko, dude. He's Zuko of Gundam. Yeah,
kind of. Yeah, like, and his sister became the queen of something.
See, it's Zuko of Gundam, dude.
That shit like fell apart, and then like dude, Gundam is fucked. So lay off me on the Gundam shit. I will get to it.
I got to interject really quick. So I just found because I went onto the Noble Gundam wiki. Yeah, Allenby Beardsley is the name of the woman who pilots the Noble Gundam.
Her name is also
Allenby.
Oh, Allenby. Okay.
Allenby Beardsley.
Allenby.
Yeah. And I've never seen this before on any wiki ever. It has a picture of the Noble Gundam, and you can choose between looking at the front or the rear.
I've never wanted a fucking Gundam before. Dude, let me see.
It flips it, and you can see her ass. Well, you can't. Her hair's in the way.
I gotta see this. Gundam hentai. There has to be Gundam hentai, like with the actual robots.
Of course there is, dude. Of course there is.
Oh my god. Dude, why is... Yeah, there we go. Fucking, there's one of Lady Gundam, dude. Or like the fucking Noble Gundam right there. She's wearing underwear. She's about to take a piss on the floor.
I wasn't expecting that.
Wow, this one is straight up borderline CP. And then there's New Testament SD Gundam Gaiden. Yeah, there's quite a few of the actual Gundams that have been like humanized and given vaginas. And then there's this one with this character who's definitely Lacus Klein, Nisei, Gundam Seed Destiny. Some chick who is super pregnant, pissing in a cup. So there you go. Okay. Gundam hentai, it's a thing. And if you're turned on right now, you are disgusting. But that's
and
okay.
You're welcome for opening you up to a whole new world.
Yeah, that's okay. Own it. Own being disgusting. There's definitely
be the change you want to be.
Yeah, be the change you want to see in the world. Wow. That's, yep. Never thought about robots fucking. The closest I ever thought, like, got to that idea was that Ethan and Hila video from back in the day. Remember the chick who wanted to fuck the amusement park ride?
Yes, I do remember that. Oh,
Give me your fluids. And then her friend is just like over like sitting on a fence. She's like, I really like this fence. He's great. Oh, it feels so good. She's just like crotch rubbing on a fence. Man, I miss that. I miss videos like that. I wish they still did that kind of content.
Yeah, you probably can't get that shit monetized anymore.
No, yeah, it's true. Fucking fuck YouTube.
YouTube, yeah.
Anyway, yeah. So not a whole lot. Obviously, I finished Bleach. I have a bunch of manga that's sitting around too. I ended up with the Death Note box set, and I got the Hellsing Ultimate Edition Volume 1. So that's
I watched them with Hellsing Ultimate too. That was fun.
Oh, nice. Yeah. No, I'm talking about the manga. So they're putting the manga
I'm just
out.
saying. I'm just adding on to the list of things that I've watched recently.
I see. But yeah, they put out the Hellsing manga in volumes like Berserk, so it's leather bound, but this one, the Hellsing ones are red. They look really cool. Only volume 1 is out right now. I think there's only going to be 3 in total. I'm not sure, but Maya's birthday came up, who is my cousin, also one of our $20 patrons. Shout out to Maya, happy birthday. But I was like, dude, I'm gonna get her Hellsing, the manga, like the Ultimate Edition. And then I was like, I'm also gonna get me the Ultimate Edition. I'm the worst present getter. I always get like really jealous of presents I buy people, and then I buy them for myself.
You buy them yourself. That's fucking great.
I hate me sometimes, but it's okay. Shit. Yeah, I legitimately can't think of anything else I've watched. You know what I've actually been watching is Ash versus the Evil Dead. And I've really been enjoying that.
Nice.
Did you ever watch Evil Dead?
Nah.
Bro. Okay, so one of these days we're going to do like an Evil Dead marathon in the Patreon. I know it's not anime, but Evil Dead is near and dear to me and very important. Kit's not in right now, but I'm sure that she has watched the Evil Dead before. She seems like somebody who would be right there. Army of Darkness. Army of Darkness is okay. I like the Army of Darkness. Omni Penguin just chimed in. I like the Army of Darkness a lot. Evil Dead 1 and 2 are my jams. I have Evil Dead 2 on Blu-ray. I think it was the first Blu-ray I ever bought, actually. But yeah, the first one is an actual horror movie, and it's pretty fucking scary. Especially, you know, if you're watching it with the right audience or in the right setting. The first one can still like fucking fuck you up a little bit. The second one is like in between horror and comedy, and then the third one is much more comedy. And then Ash versus the Evil Dead is like a continuation of it 30 years later. And it's made by oh my god, Sam Raimi, Sam Raimi is a weirdo. And he loves covering his characters in blood and all sorts of awful fluids. Like I was watching an episode the other night where the main character or one of the main characters was fighting in basically like a mental institution. And this puppet, she's fighting a puppet, right? Because the puppet came to life, got possessed by a demon, and a hand puppet too, not like a marionette.
As you do.
Yeah, and the puppet has her by the hair and is stuffing her face into a piss-filled bedpan, and I'm just like, oh god, like what the fuck, right? And then there's this another episode I was watching later, was a callback to Evil Dead 2 with this big fat nasty old like undead demon possessed lady. And in this one, and she's naked, right? You know, she's in a bodysuit, right? So it's like this, you know, grotesque, like bloated corpse bodysuit. And she has Ash by the hair, and she's punching him in the stomach. And then she's like, "Oh, get some of Grandma's milk." Fucking puts his face down her tit. She just starts squeezing this like pussy tit, and like all this fucking like nasty like not it's like breast milk mixed with like infected shit and spraying all over his face and like getting in his mouth. You know, it's very over the top. It's like slapstick horror like comedy. It's amazing. It is amazing. If you like Evil Dead and haven't seen Ash versus the Evil Dead, it's on Netflix now, and I highly recommend it.
Sounds great.
Well, I mean, think about it, right? It's like a live action version of anime, kind of, you know, like only anime gets that fucking gross, you know?
Mm-hmm. That's true.
There you go. But yeah, I mean, if you don't have anything else, that's been my anime week, bro.
Yeah, I'm done, man. Like, honestly, my week has been like, just get through it so that you can rest this weekend.
Yeah, exactly.
That has been the week.
So, in that case, let's just quickly cover Patreon. Guys, Patreon is very important to us. Right now, we have Omni Penguin and Raining Ekum sitting in. Before, our buddy Neonosis was sitting in. And basically, Patreon is what keeps the channel afloat. Right now, we're in a bit of a victory lap. We've had a very good season. This summer was really rough. You know, YouTube is a volatile place when it comes to making money and supporting yourself. But we work, 40 hours a week, just like everybody else. We're just doing a different kind of job. And sometimes we need support from people. So if you like what we do, if you like the podcast, if you like the YouTube channel, please consider checking out our Patreon. And I'm just going to grab a random patron testimonial. This one was from Calamity Cookie, who has been one of our top patrons for since, fucking forever. He's all like, he was our OG top patron, and he's still on a very high tier. We appreciate Calamity Cookie very much. He says, it's been a year to the day since I accidentally stumbled upon Bonsai Pop with the Saint Seiya video. This joke in particular had me fucking dying and instantly sold me onto the channel. I think about it at least once a week. And it was when I compared the Saints to a heavy metal band, particularly the Ice Saint with the fucking goose on his head. So I shooped the untitled goose onto this like old, like, I think it's poison onto his forehead.
It's really funny.
Using a picture of a goose, calling it a duck, is a swan boy. Fucking love it. While this video is what initially got me interested in the channel, however, a good plethora of other videos are what made me fall in love with the messages and themes. It's eye-opening to find complete strangers who, in certain 11 to 21 minute videos, have me down to a T. I was lucky enough to find that content, which I relate to so fiercely. It's all because of a damn bird joke. The only way to describe this feeling about how I came to enjoy this channel so much is inexplicably serendipity. And what was especially serendipitous was joining the Discord and finding so many other like-minded and fucking funny people that I've had the absolute pleasure connecting with. I absolutely love this channel and this community. In the year that I've been here, I don't have any booze on me yet, but there's many, many more glorious years.
But here's to many, many more glorious years.
Yes, but it
was supposed to be a cheers.
Okay. So yes, thank you so much, Cookie. You are a fucking king. So
yeah, Calamity Cookie has been such a stout and staunch supporter of us, and it's been fucking awesome. And like, we owe him so much.
Fuck yeah.
And that's so nice. And like, there's so many awesome stories from the Patreon. Like, I just the other day responded to somebody on our Instagram who, like, I ended up talking to him for like 15 or 20 minutes. Then he ended up joining the Patreon, and he manages a brewery in Canada, and he wants to send us beer. And it's like, when people join this community, it becomes something, It's not just like you press subscribe on a channel and you're done, and it's like, yeah, I'm in it now. Like, you actually feel a change.
Yeah, like we have had patrons, fucking start relationships with each other. Like, we have quite a few of those at this point. We've had people become really good friends and like travel across state boundaries to spend time with each other. Like, nobody's killed each other, which is impressive considering those things. Like, it's a good time. It's a really good time. It's like a family.
Like, our venting channel is where a lot of the people go as their primary support system too.
Yeah, it's true. Speaking of which, if you're in that venting channel, make sure you're using it right and giving people advice only when it is asked for. But yeah, anyway, guys, check out the Patreon, patreon.com/bonsaipop. And
it's worth $1 just to get into the Discord. And if you want to do more, like, you're welcome to. But like, we try to make it open to everybody.
Yeah, open to everybody who's serious about it. I mean, that's the thing, right? You know, like we're not going to make dick off your dollar once the taxes
like
come out.
literally $1 just dissuades assholes and trolls from coming in. That's all we need. Is like, oh, I have to pay for it.
Yeah,
and exactly. Like we make like fucking 40 cents of that dollar or something, you know?
Yeah,
but it's worth it to keep the community like whole and clean and feeling like the people who are there for the right reasons.
Yeah, exactly. So, Tyler, let's talk about video games.
More, yeah, I'm down.
All right. So, what have you been playing? Anything new or?
I am still playing Hades, dude.
Still playing Hades.
I'm still playing Hades. So yes, I have beaten I've beaten the main point of the game, but there is a lot of end game content that you can do. Okay. So I'm not going to like spoil anything for you because I know you still haven't played it, right?
No, I haven't.
But basically, there's a main storyline that you're trying to progress through for the game, and that's what I call the game, right? Like once you beat that storyline, there are still a lot of side storylines that you can finish, and there is an epilogue that you can unlock basically through multiple playthroughs. And doing certain things within those playthroughs. You have to essentially check off certain things on a list that will unlock this final quest.
Right.
And I'm in the process of doing that. I'm still checking off these things. And I've been like unlocking a bunch of stuff in the process and forging like relationships with a bunch of the characters, which is really cool. And the main thing that's keeping me interested and entertained is that you have a bunch of different weapons that you can use, so it's never the same every single time you go in because you can always choose a new weapon. And once you beat the game, it unlocks this thing called the Pact of Punishment, where to continue to get rewards for completing the game, you have to add on to your Pact of Punishment. So, and they call it heat. So like after you beat the game, you'll have one heat that you have to do. And your heat can be anything from a list of like 20 different difficult things. So it can be like the first boss has a new ability, or enemies do 20% more damage, or there's 20% more enemies, or your health upgrades give you like 30% less health. Like there's a bunch of different things to make it harder, and you have to keep adding onto it more and more every single time you beat the game.
Shit.
So I'm on heat 20 right now.
Jesus Christ.
And you can go up to like 60.
Wow.
Yeah. So the game is just getting harder and harder, and like I'm getting to the end, and like when I'm finally getting to the final boss and beating him, sometimes I'm getting through with one hit left. Like I'm barely winning, you know?
Yeah.
So it's getting real hard, but I'm getting really close to that final end. So I'm still persevering through it, but I'm just like, I'm not ready to give it up yet. I'm still having too much fun with it.
Are you playing it on the Switch?
Yes.
Okay. All right, cool.
And let me tell you, when you start adding, I have the one that gives you more enemies. It's called Jury Duty, and you can add on to it multiple times. So I have 60% more enemies per zone that I'm in now.
Right.
And sometimes that's so many enemies that the game has frame rate issues.
Not surprising.
On Switch.
On the Switch, yeah.
Yeah. Okay. And God, there's another one where armored enemies have special abilities. There's the special ability for some armored guys where they will spawn like 3 or 4 fucking clones of themselves that'll hit you. And suddenly there's like fucking 50 things on the screen, and you only have to kill the one that's the real one, but you got to like get through this fucking wave of assholes to do it. Yeah. It's getting rough, man.
Meanwhile, your Switch is like,
yeah, my Switch is fucking tired.
Yeah, dude, that's fucking.
My hands are tired too, but I actually needed to stop playing for a little bit this week because I was like, I can't use this as my breaks anymore because my hands are too tired between this and all the editing.
Yeah, I fucked up my hand skating yesterday. It's the most pathetic fucking fall I think I've ever had. Like I was over at this spot that I like to skate. It has this 3 set of stairs that like goes onto some pretty grimy concrete. You know, like what you're skating on really does make a difference. But I'm not back in shape enough to start throwing myself down a 4-set. So like I went to just ride off, right? Because like you don't have to ollie downstairs. You can ride off stairs. If you're going fast enough, you'll fly over the stairs. And I just like wasn't going fast enough. And my nose just like went into the ground. And I just kind of like fell off my board. But when I did, I put my hands out, which I don't normally do. Like you're much better off falling on a harder part of your body, like your shoulder, you know, kind of rolling away. But I just put my hands out and like I just got this
fucking just scraped the shit out of them.
I just got a rock stuck in my hand. So I have this nice hole in my hand right now. And then I fell again and slapped my hand on the ground, the same spot. And I was like, you know what? Like, I don't know if I can take another dig like that on this hand because it was starting to swell up. It's fine now. I mean, the hole's still there, but, you know, it's doing better. I just got to be careful. If I break my hand, I'm fucked. You know what I mean? Like, I got to...
Yeah. More like I'm fucked because I'm going to have to pick up that slack.
True. But like, you know, I mean, what am I going to do with one hand, especially my left hand because it's my right one that I smacked twice. But anyway,
I was about to say, especially my left hand because your right one's your jack off hand. I thought that's what you were going to say.
And if you guys are interested in checking out, so like, I don't think I've talked about this much on the podcast yet, but I'm getting back into skating after like a 7-year hiatus. I grew up skating literally every day. We had a skate park in town in Belchertown that we would go to after school every single day. So, you know, I grew up riding ramps. I never did flat ground or street stuff, so I never learned any flip tricks really. So that's kind of what I'm working on right now, is like doing that, stairs, like learning the baby tricks. And I got most of them under my belt. I'm still working on my frontside 180s and kick flips. I have a really hard time with kick flips. Heel flips, no problem. Kick flips, rough. So if you are interested in checking any of that out, check us out on Twitter or Instagram. I posted a little video the other day, and people seem to enjoy it. I think it got like 200 likes on Instagram, which, again, I don't understand why our Instagram does as well as it does. But
I don't know, man.
It's all about them hashtags, dude. That's why the fucking 7 Deadly Sins post you put out only got like 88 likes. You didn't put like 2 hashtags on it, dude.
I'm sorry, I couldn't think of more hashtags to put. I didn't know what to
anime
do.
Works.
That would be a good one.
Hashtag fucking manga. Like, you know, you just like anything you could think of, really. Like
hashtag manga me.
Yeah, exactly. So video games. That's what we're talking about. I have been very busy on the video game front. Actually, I played all the way through Fallout New Vegas. I played all the DLC for the first time, and it was fantastic. That was a lot of fun.
Nice.
Fallout New Vegas is so good. Like, that game is so fucking good. But, you know, most people know that by now. It's like an 11-year-old game, I think, at this point, maybe even older. And then after that, I was like, you know what? I want more open world stuff. And I saw that Watch Dogs Legion had come out. So I picked that up for the PC and I beat it a couple days ago. That game, I never played any of the Watch Dogs. Did you?
Yeah, I played I didn't play the first one, but I played the second one and I really enjoyed it.
Okay. So I didn't, you know, I knew Watch Dogs was about like hacking or whatever when I was going into it, but I had never played one before. And I really enjoyed this one. It definitely has some minor faults. There's a lack of music in it in general, like when you're out and about in the city, which kind of sucks. I would have liked to have been able to play a radio like while I was running around. The list of music in the game when you are driving and stuff is kind of small.
Gotcha.
And a lot of it is like Ubisoft music that's been used in other games before, like EA games and shit. So, you know, but they did have the Gorillas. That was cool. They had Fatboy Slim, which was nice. And, you know, some other stuff. But what interested me in this one in particular was the fact that you can play as literally any character in the game. So
that's cool.
Yeah. So you can have a team of somewhere around like 30 to 40 people at all times. And as you're walking, and when I say any character, I mean literally any character, bad guys, good guys, random people on the street, like you do these missions to basically recruit them into DedSec. And
that makes sense. That's kind of like what the second one was about, was like recruiting people in.
Yeah, but with this one, it's like, I mean, like literally anybody, and everybody has specific skills. Some people have no skills. Some people come with a car. Some people come with like guns. Some people are faster at hacking, or, you know, then you have the really weird characters like the beekeeper. You can like use this gun to like send out a bunch of bees that'll attack the enemies and shit. Or you
So
can be
there's not even like a primary character that you go back to?
There's
like
no
Marcus?
primary character.
Whoa, weird.
Yeah, you start off with you pick a random character to start off, like whoever looks best to you. So I picked some random Asian guy who could like call a drone in. And I ended up like exchanging him after a while. I was just like, you're good. I retired him and replaced him with better characters and stuff. So it's totally open world. I don't know if the other ones were like that.
The second one was, at least.
Okay. Yeah. So it's super open world. Like there's, you know, collectibles and stuff to find all over the place. This one takes place in London, which is super fucking weird because you drive on the wrong side of the road in the wrong side of the car. So every time I get into a car, I always get into the wrong side, and the character has to move over to the right side of the car. And then I'm constantly driving on the wrong side of the road. Super weird.
That's fucking funny.
Yeah. And, you know, the story was good. Everything about it was pretty good. The only issue is that they only had so many missions for recruiting characters. So a lot of the character recruiting missions were either exactly the same or very similar.
Gotcha.
So, you know, they ran a little short on that. That being said, there's DLC coming out and the online mode is coming up early December. I think December 3rd, something like that. So I'm excited for that. But after I beat it, I picked up Yakuza Like a Dragon. And so for those of you guys who've played Yakuza at this point, you should know that Kiryu's story is over. Kiryu he went through his trials and tribulations. He's happy now, and he's done. So obviously, you know, people love Yakuza. Yakuza is going to need to continue to come out. So Ryo Gogokutu or Gotoko or whatever, I don't know, Japanese name, studios decided to continue the Yakuza franchise, this time with a new character named Ichiban, sorry, which means like the best or the greatest. And it's interesting. So Yakuza, for the most part, Tyler, as you know, is like a beat 'em up. Kind of.
Yep.
It's like beat 'em up meets RPG meets open world sandbox.
Yeah, it's an RPG 'em up.
Yeah, it's definitely within its own class of games, because it's not like Grand Theft Auto where you can just go and cause chaos. Like the chaos.
Well, it's got like a little bit of everything, but it's still like not. You can't just do anything.
Yeah.
It has everything, but you can't do anything within the everything.
Right. Like Grand Theft Auto and, you know, Watch Dogs Legion, which is very much like Grand Theft Auto, in the you know, way where you can get chased by cops or like stack up a bunch of cars and explode them or whatever. You know, you can do anything to the point where it's ridiculous. Whereas Yakuza is very grounded in Japanese culture. And not to say it's not ridiculous, because it is fucking ridiculous. It's just like,
but in a different way.
Yeah, it's like when you get into a fight scenario, right? You'll be running around the city and you can't just punch a pedestrian, because a Japanese person wouldn't do that. But you will run into thugs who will start this fight scenario with you. And then generally what you did is you had a couple of stances, and you'd mash buttons, and then you know, do your power moves, et cetera, grab something off the ground, beat people up with it.
Slam somebody into a car door, et cetera, et cetera.
That's the way it's always been. Well, Yakuza Like a Dragon is a turn-based RPG, an active time turn-based RPG, which I didn't realize when I bought it, right? Because I bought it for the PS4 because I wanted to play it on the PS5 in 4K. Right. Well, I couldn't get a PS5, so I said, fuck it, and bought it on the PC and brought my 4K TV upstairs, which is how we got into all these graphics settings earlier in the podcast. And I started playing it, and I got into the first battle, and it was like choose your action, basically. And I was like, what the fuck, you know? And then afterwards, Ichiban's friend was like, dude, like, why do you fight like that? You could just kick the shit out of these people, you know, and never get hurt. And he's like, well, he's like, I know you let them hit you. Why do you let them hit you? And he's like, well, if I just went in and smashed people in the concrete, that wouldn't be very hero-like. And the guy's like, what are you talking about? He's like, you know, like Dragon Quest, like, you know, the hero always takes damage. It's how, you know, it's heroic to take damage. And basically, like, the entire game is centered around the idea of Ichiban wanting to be the hero from Dragon Quest. So there's a party system in the game. There's a job system in the game. So like a class system. You can actually...
I kind of love this.
Yeah, you can actually perma-wield weapons.
Oh, whoa.
Yeah, which is really cool depending on your class or your job, right? So like right now, I'm a hero job. So I get to wield a bat. You know, and then I can upgrade this bat and stuff like that. And then I have 2 other people in my party. And it's like, you still can do your crazy moves. You just choose the moves, you know, and then they'll do.
Is there like MP and stuff? Like, do you have like a certain like,
yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. It's called mental power instead of magic points.
Okay.
Yeah, it's really funny, and every time, you know, somebody joins your party, you get this Dragon Quest fanfare, just like in Dragon Quest. Like, remember?
I love that.
Yeah, from Dragon Quest 11, like when somebody.
Oh yeah, I totally remember. Like, and then it's just like the person just like looking at you in different ways, kind of.
Yeah, that literally happens in Yakuza like a dragon. It's so funny. Basically, they were like, you know, whoever was in charge of this project was like, I just want to make a Dragon Quest game. But I'm gonna
like, you know what? It's a new character. We're starting off fresh. I can do whatever the fuck I want.
Exactly, but it's still very Yakuza. There are some things
this
that
excites me. This excites me a lot.
It's awesome. There are some things that I'm happy about. Some things that I'm not really happy about. Like when you order food this time around, you don't get to see yourself eating the food. Like, that was one of the best things about some of the Yakuza, where like the food just looks so fucking good.
Yeah.
Like, you still get the still images of the food, still makes you hungry, but you don't get to see them like getting served the food or eating it. That's a bummer. But there's no loading times going into doors, so that's great. You know, it has that more open world feeling to it. You can't just pick stuff up off the ground, but if something is in front of you and you do a normal attack, they will auto pick it up and start beating people down with it. So there's still that, obviously. As far as I'm concerned, it's sticking very close to the heart of the series. This one takes place in 2019. Ichiban was arrested for reasons in 2001. So it's very much like Kiryu, where he got like 20 years in prison and was let out into a world he no longer understands. So, you know,
like cell phone. What?
Yeah, smartphones. That's what it is this time. Because before it was cell phones. This time it's smartphones. He's like, what the fuck is a smartphone? And it's good. I'm really enjoying it.
Good. I'm glad to hear that. It's very difficult to take a game and completely recreate it in a different style while keeping the heart of what it is.
Yeah. I mean, did you play Yakuza 0 yet?
I've played some of it. Okay, I haven't gotten into it. I've been too busy, man. I've been too busy to get into it.
Yeah, that's fine. I mean, Yakuza 0 is different too, because like when you beat people, like you beat the cash out of them. It has like a little bit of a different system. This one is, like you said, it's very different. But
do I need to play through the rest of the Yakuza franchise before I start Like a Dragon?
As far as I'm aware, after playing for like 20 hours, no.
Okay.
They haven't even
mentioned... I might just go right into Like a Dragon, because I've been really wanting to play it since you told me about how they changed it.
Right.
Because I would love, like, my hands are tired, man. I would love something easy where I just choose stuff at my own pace.
It's definitely, I mean, it is an active battle system, so like, you know, you do have to like choose your moves, but you're not button mashing like you would in a normal Yakuza game, and you're definitely not going ham like you would in Hades. It's definitely good. It has all the right Yakuza feel. Like it will be a little bit of a culture shock at first, but afterwards, no. As long as you know, and again, I have no idea if Kiryu shows up or not, or, if there's any mention of that. But what I do know is that as long as you know the Tojo clan and the Omi Alliance, like you should be able to understand the plot of Like a Dragon.
I know those two.
Yeah, because I think Yakuza 6 takes place in like 2014. So there's been a 5-year gap between Yakuza 6 and Like a Dragon. So basically the Tojo clan, this is just the setting of the game. So I'll give you a little idea of it. Is it you know what? No, I won't. I won't spoil anything. You guys should check out the game. Definitely check out the game. But yeah, that's where I'm at. I'm just playing that and working. So
yeah, I mean, like, we don't have that much to talk about just because, like, we've been so fucking busy.
Super duper busy. But I've really wanted to get to sit down and do the Bonsai Popcast and, hang out with the patrons and stuff like that. So
same.
We're gonna.
Yeah, I mean, like, we haven't gotten to do this in a hot minute, and it's been really nice to. I mean, this is our second podcast in a row that we're recording right now. Like, we did the Super Saiyan 3 cast right before this one,
and that's why my voice is literally failing me right now. It's like going out.
Yeah, so we can wrap it up,
Yeah. But basically, we should be back on track to normalcy now. It's like we did a week in October where we had 2 videos in 1 week. We did a week in November or this month where we had 2 videos in 1 week. That's a lot of bandwidth that takes up from us being able to do other things. So, during those weeks, we've had to be like, all right, well, we don't have time for the Bonsai Popcast. We don't have time for the Patreon podcast. We don't have time for a viewing party. We just got to focus on these videos. And that's what we did. But we don't plan on putting out any more extra videos for a long time.
We didn't plan on putting out an extra one this time. It's just when Figurama Collectors is like, hey, we want you to do a video. We don't want to say no if we can help it.
Yeah, exactly. And that's actually a really good segue into the end of this podcast, Ty. If you do end up editing this today, tomorrow is Monday. So it's Sunday the 22nd right now. Tomorrow, Monday the 23rd at 9 a.m., pre-orders are opening for Figurama's new 7 Deadly Sins statue. It's Bon versus King. If you go to figuramacollectors.com, the statue will be there. If you use code BPOP7DS at checkout, you'll get $20 off. You're not going to want to miss out on that. If 7 Deadly Sins is your jam, like, this is the nicest piece you will ever see, period.
Yep. But without question, it is the nicest piece you will ever see. And it will sell out immediately. Like, you need to be there when they release them.
Yeah. And it is expensive. Like, we were not paid to mention it in this podcast at all, but like, we really enjoy working with Figurama Collectors. We like what those guys do. We love what those guys do. It's impressive. So, anyway, like, it is expensive. These pieces are expensive, but the value is 100% there and will not fade. In fact, when you buy these, you're making money. And this is something I've never actually talked about, but because they're so limited. Yeah, because they're so limited, it's like the value of the statue exponentially rises over time because people will go onto their website and be like, oh man, they made a fucking 7 Deadly Sins statue that's so sick, but I can't buy it. Well, you put that fucking thing on eBay, maybe you're trying to go for another Figurama statue that you really want. You put that one on eBay, you can make fucking twice the money on it and then buy another Figurama statue. You know what I mean? That's actually a really good idea. Now that I'm thinking about it. Anyway, my point is
Mike's going to make a Figurama collector racket on eBay.
The point is that you're going to get the best solid piece of that media that exists. Figurama Collectors is the best.
Yeah, there's not going to be a better piece for anything that they cover.
Yeah. And on top of that, I would like to point out also that we do have a Displate shop. We have our own Bonsai Pop Displates that are on that shop. But if you follow the link that we will put in the description here, you can go to Displate through that link, and anything you buy on the entire site will go towards helping the channel. So this is something
which currently is going towards a camera.
Yeah, exactly. Like we've taken all of the money that we've made from commissions on that, and we're putting it towards a new camera so you can see my face and it won't look like shit, and the lighting will be good. And like, for fuck's sake, I've been using a Logitech C20 for like 6 years.
Yeah, so, we're putting all that money towards my girlfriend, saying, please buy us a good camera. We don't know anything about cameras.
Yeah, we're going to just hand her the cash and be like, buy camera.
But she knows a lot about cameras.
Yeah, which I don't, so it'll all be good. So yeah, so if you'd like to help us in any endeavor, Patreon, Displate, Figurama Collectors, I mean, everything that you put your money into, you're going to get quality and quantity and stuff back out of it. Either directly from us or from a company that we believe in. Displates are awesome metal posters that hang on your wall with magnets, which makes them interchangeable, and just easy as fuck. Like, dude, nothing is worse than trying to level a fucking
it's the poster. Trying to level anything is awful. And with Displates, it's just like, boop, turn it slightly, done.
Yeah, exactly. It just slides on the magnet. So that's all the whoring and selling out that we're going to do this episode. Tyler, thank you so much for joining me on this here podcast.
Hell yeah, dude.
Omni Penguin, Reigning Eckham, thank you for sticking through like 3 hours of podcasting.
Yeah, something like that. A lot.
You guys are champs. It's a Sunday. Do you really not have anything better to do? But yeah, we are going to sign out. Tyler, tell the people the things.
Oh, the things.
I'm not even going to prompt you.
Yeah, dude, you should go to Instagram or Twitter at _Bonsai_pop and follow us on there. Right. We post things. Like, for example, the other day, somebody was like, ruin a show by changing one letter. And they did Dawson's Creek. And I responded with one niece, which I thought was pretty funny.
That's really funny.
And the best one, somebody posted underneath, they said, Titty Hunter.
Ooh, I like that one.
Right? That's a great one. So yeah, go follow us there. We also
for the
you can also go to our YouTube channel, which is youtube.com/bonsaipop, or just, search Bonsai Pop. It'll show up.
Where we're verified.
You can also, we're verified now. There's a little check mark next to it. It's great.
We're officially official.
You can also go to the Bonsai Popcast, which is where we upload with like gameplay and stuff. So if you want to watch me suck at Dark Souls 3, that's what it was last time. I don't know what it'll be this time. Fuck, I need video for this if I'm going to get it out tomorrow. I got to figure that out. You can also go to patreon.com/bonsaipop. There's no underscore in that one. Right. And that is where you join the Patreon, and it's just $1 to start, or you can do $3, start watching the viewing parties with us, and $9 gets you an extra podcast, etc., etc.
Or it's you a really can come in at $1,000 and join our top Patreon or our top patron, fucking, and get some bathwater in a nice sake bottle from your boys here when we go to Japan. Yeah, which will hopefully happen this year, especially if we get a vaccine for the for the virus.
If we get a vaccine, I think it'll happen this year, which seems like it's going to happen in like summer or something like that. So yeah, we'll keep an eye out. But basically, once we can be cleared where we're not, or we have a very small chance of getting sick from COVID from traveling, we're going to go, we're going to bathwater it up, we're going to send it in people in awesome sake bottles. It's going to be great.
Yeah, Alpha Sigma, our top patron, is waiting for you to join him. up there in the stars. There in the stars.
Am I missing anything, Mike? I did Instagram, I did Twitter, I did Twitch. Patreon, I did YouTube, twitch.tv/bonsai_pop.
That's right.
You can go there. Sometimes Mike streams things. Sometimes I join him. It's really just for fun to hang out with the community. People, for whatever reason, subscribe anyway.
Yeah, stop doing that.
Or follow or whatever it is. Yeah. yeah. Join the Patreon. Don't do it on Twitch. You're not getting your money's worth there.
Yeah.
But yeah, so those are the places you can find us. And yeah, that's the podcast, man.
Yes. Reply to this and tell me where I can find your mom. And we will talk to you later. Thank you so much.
Yeah, thank you, everybody. Bye.